Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial, and today we've got it's a picture's worth 1,000 words, but today the picture's of a document. We're going to be covering one of the ship's plans of the day, so you can see what the day is like for an average sailor. This is an above average day, which is why this particular POD has been saved, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. So, plans of the day are documents printed every single day. Remember, the battleship has a print shop on board, so we can print all of these documents and distribute them throughout the ship. And so these were posted on pin boards in the various berthing compartments and workspaces around the ship so that sailors knew what the schedule of the day was going to be, what the uniform of the day was, if anything special was coming up, things like that that are important for sailors to know. And the plan of the day is something that still used in the modern Navy. So, plan of the day, Saturday, 23 May, 1953. Starts off with what the uniform of the day is. Officers and CPOs working khaki with ties and combination cap, enlisted undress blue Baker. I'm not sure if that means the blue wool uniform, that's probably dress blue, or the dungarees, which is more likely. Working division is Division 6. Standby working division is Division 3. Day starts off early. Reveille is at 0500. Today's video is brought to you by Established Titles. Established Titles uses the ancient Scottish tradition of making landowners a laird or lady, lord or lady, by simple merit of owning property in Scotland. So Established Titles allows you to buy as little as 1 square foot of property in Scotland to become a Scottish lord or lady. This is a prefix like Mr. or Mrs. that you can put on things like your plane tickets, your credit cards, and even your dating profiles. That one's my favorite. They send you a certificate like this one. I'm Lord Ryan Szymanski now. Established Titles makes a great last-minute gift idea. Remember, the holiday season is approaching. And they donate to One Trees Planted and Trees for the Future. I absolutely love this environmentalism about the company. Remember to use the discount code BATTLESHIP to get 10% off your next purchase, and the first 200 people who purchase will get a plot right next to mine in the same kingdom. Established Titles makes a great last-minute gift, and they're running an amazing sale right now in addition to our discount code, so go over there soon. Go to establishedtitles.com/battleship and use the discount code BATTLESHIP to get your gifts now and support our channel and our museum. And within 15 minutes, you've got turn 2. Restricted men have to muster in the Master at Arms office and clear all the mess decks. At 0526, you've got sunrise, which means that you can cancel darken ship and turn on lights, and the smoking lamp will be lighted outside, so you can smoke again on the outside of the ship. Remember, May 1953, we're still in the middle of the Korean War, so they're operating under wartime conditions. On this particular day, the ship is in Incheon, so not directly a battle zone at this point, but they're still, practice how you fight. They're in a war zone, so they are operating under war zone specific stuff. By 5:30, you're piping to breakfast. So they had 15 minutes to clear out the mess decks and then bring in all the stuff that you need to set up for breakfast. Watchstanders get to eat at the head of the line. That's specifically listed on here. 6:30, late bunks. So that might be people who get to sleep in, get kicked out at that point. 7 o'clock, secure from breakfast. So you've got an hour and a half for the whole crew to rotate through their breakfasts. And set the special sea and anchor details. At 8 o'clock, muster on stations. 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 Do not submit muster reports. Scrub down weather decks. 8:30 is sick call, so anybody who is sick, too sick to work, is going to line up outside of sick bay, or anybody who has to report there for medicine or whatever the case may be. 0900, quarters for entering port, weather permitting. About 9:30, the ship anchors at Incheon. 10 o'clock, first lieutenant's inspection of living spaces, passageways, and heads. So, the ship is going into port, so they're washing the ship down, they're doing all these inspections. This is a relatively normal thing before the crew would go on liberty. You got to make sure you've cleaned up your space. In this particular instance, it's a special day, and there are dignitaries who are going to be coming on board. We'll read more about that in a minute. So they're cleaning down all the spaces for that. The first lieutenant is the guy in charge of the deck division. And on a battleship, often he isn't a lieutenant. He could be a lieutenant commander or commander. But that's just a traditional term. It goes all the way back to sailing ships. 10:30, inspection of cooks and mess cooks by the medical officer. 10:45, early mess for cooks and mess cooks. All hands shift into uniform for ceremonies and honors. So you're getting out of your working uniform and into your dress uniform. Officers and CPOs, dress khaki with coats and combination caps. Enlisted, dress blue baker. Okay, so this leads me to believe that undress baker is the blue wool uniform, but without the kerchief or any of the ribbons or anything else. Dress blue baker would be you've got all your ribbons and medals and kerchief and all that other stuff. 1100, weather permitting, birthday cake cutting ceremony on port side forecastle. 23 May 1953 is the ship's 10th birthday. That's why this was a special day and this POD gets saved when they're handing them out every single day. So they are celebrating the ship's 10th birthday with a birthday cake. 1200, call away the full guard and band to render honors. 1210, assembly, all hands to quarters for manning the rail. 1215, man the rail. Manning the rail is when all the sailors are going to line up in their dress uniforms along the rail. There's usually about 6 foot of separation between each sailor. And you often see them do this when you're entering port or when a dignitary is coming on the ship. At 12:45, or upon completion of honors, secure for manning the rail, pipe to noon meal. So the day's schedule is a little bit weird. It seems like they're getting up a little bit early because of going into port. And it seems like they are piping to the noon meal a little bit late because they were doing honors at noon. 1300, sweepers.
Sweepers, man your brooms. Clean sweep down fore and aft.
Sweepers, man your brooms. 1335, secure from the noon meal, so you don't get much time for lunch there. 1340, assembly, all hands man the rail for departure of the President of Korea. So President and Madam Ray come on board along with General Maxwell Taylor to celebrate the ship's 10th birthday. I assume that where they're doing manning the rail and piping the side an hour earlier is for these dignitaries to come on board. And I believe this is the president's second time on board. President Ray, in particular, comes on board on 2 separate occasions. I believe this is the second occasion, but I'm not quite sure. By 1400, the VIPs depart. 1430, staff and New Jersey officers depart via Q-boat. So that's just a launch that the officers are going to use to go ashore for something going on. Notice it is staff and New Jersey officers. So Admiral Jocko Clark has made New Jersey his 7th Fleet flagship at this point. So his staff officers, plus the actual officers assigned to the ship, get to depart. 1600, sweepers again. All of the sailors on here are getting flashbacks. 1650, mess gear, clear all the mess decks. 1700, pipe to evening meal. Watchstanders eat at the head of the line. Again, it's interesting that they have to specifically say this every single time. Division officers check the setting of material condition yoke below the second deck and make report of results to the damage control officer. So all the doors and portholes and other openings on the ship are marked with an X, Y, Z, or W. Condition Y is like the midpoint setting. If it was peacetime, you might be operating under condition X-ray, where anything is open, practically. Condition yoke, all the X's and Y fittings should be shut to give the ship some partial watertight stability while still allowing the crew to move about the ship. Whereas condition zebra would be you are basically closing everything for general quarters. We've done videos about this in the past. Check the description below. 1800, we've got secure from the evening meal. So you've only got an hour to get the full crew through there. You've got another evening sick call. 1900, staff and New Jersey officers are returning from official entertainment. And restricted men are mustering outside of the Master at Arms office again. Around 1913, you prepare to darken ship. So that means you're coming up on sunset at that point.
Attention on deck. Right hand, salute. 2.
1930 is the evening meal in the officer's wardroom, and all 8 o'clock reports are due. 2000 is movies in the after mess deck. So the fact that they're wearing the blue wool uniforms and they're doing movies in the mess deck tells me that May in this part of the Korean Peninsula it's still pretty cold. Oftentimes, if it's warm weather, the movies would be held on the fantail. And just 3 years earlier, a film projection booth was built on the fantail for specifically this purpose. And it's retained throughout the rest of the ship's career. 930, 2130, you're sweeping down all living spaces. 2200, taps, lights out, all hands into your bunks, and keep silence about the deck. Smoking lamp is out in all berthing spaces.
All hands turn in your bunks. Turn out all lights. Keep silence about the deck. The smoking lamp is out. All hands turn in your bunks. Turn out all lights. Keep silence about the deck. The smoking lamp is out.
And then we've got some notes at the bottom. All reserve officers, USNR officers, are directed to read a particular instruction concerning release to inactive duty. If this note is in there, it means that somebody went about something wrong. It is wartime, so we have reserve officers called up in large numbers on the ship at this point. Section 2, the attention of all interested officers of JG, Ensign, Bosun, and Gunner are directed to another instruction concerning deep-sea diving training. Interesting. So your deck division guys and I guess it's your deck division officers and your lower ranking officers are allowed to take that training or are encouraged to take that training. The attention of all interested USN temporary and USNR officers who are college graduates, which would be the vast majority of them, directed to another instruction concerning appointment to the regular Navy. So it seems like a lot of reserve officers are about to leave the ship, which is why they've got that note 1, and they're looking to convert them into actual Navy officers, because again, it's wartime, you don't want to lose these experienced guys. Section 4, telephone number for the PIO office and Jerseyman office is 957. So the ship has a ship service telephone service, which is just rotary dial phones, and that room is that. All men that have not reported to the PIO office to fill out advancement in rating forms may do so today. And then the bottom of it, it's got the watch bill. We're under condition 3, which is wartime steaming conditions. So it's not the full ship manned like general quarters, and it's not you're in port going on liberty condition 5 sort of thing. And then it says which watch sections are standing. It looks like the ship is broken up into 4 watches at this point, and they just rotate through 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 throughout the day. And then, of course, it's signed by the XO, Paul Joachim, who is a commander at this point. He is an interesting fellow. We'll probably do a video about him in the future. After he leaves the ship and the Navy, he ends up being murdered, and some conspiracy theorists link it to the Kennedy assassination. But we'll talk about him and his career and in a future video. He really is an interesting and talented individual. So there is the POD for a special day. You notice there is a heck of a lot of cleaning of the ship. That's not just because it's a special day and we got dignitaries on board. That's pretty much an everyday thing. Even in the middle of the Korean War, they've got sweepers set 2 times during the day, and the mess cooks reporting to the medical officer to make sure that they're clean and things like that. And that's just as you've got 2,000 guys crammed into this tin can, and so you need to maintain sanitary conditions. So really interesting look at the ship and how it transitions from normal wartime to we've got some ceremonies going on because we're the 7th Fleet flagship and it's a special day for the ship, back to normal wartime stuff. So was this video, this insight into a day in the sailor's life, interesting to you? Let us know in the comment section down below what era of the ship's career you'd like to see what era of the ship's career you'd like to see a POD from in the future. In some future video, we'll review other plans of the day, maybe another really special day, maybe just a regular average day to see what it's like in peacetime and wartime. Let us know what sorts of PODs you're interested in seeing in the comment section. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. In particular, we appreciate the support from established titles, which allows you to become a ceremonial Scottish lord or lady. Check the link in the description below for ways you can go. They're running a massive sale right now, and you can get even more off by using our discount code Battleship. You can also support the museum by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find out about us and our channel. Thanks for watching.